I'm Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to make a Mother's Day card that is debossed and also has a nice embellishment on the top that is a very 3D. And here's an example of what we're going to be making today. As you can see by this card, we have our heart standing out. It has little stitch marks all the way around. Those are little cut lines so that you can make your design stand out even more than being just flat. So let's get going with this and let's move over to Cricut Design Space. So let's get ready to make our debossed Mother's Day card. First thing you're going to do is download a file. So let's go to our upload first and let's upload that image that we want. And for our Mother's Day, we have a special card that we're going to be doing. So we'll just click on Browse. And the file you're looking for is Debossed Card SVG. We'll just click on Open. And you should see this area all ready for you to go. So then we'll just click on Upload. Nothing more we have to do except select it and insert the image. And I am just going to take this and I am going to hide it for now because we are not going to use it. So just hide it out of the way. So now you have several pieces here that have come for this debossed card. And I'm going to show you a couple of little tricks as we go through here. First thing I want to do is I want to ungroup all of this. Now this is the card itself, and it is simply a plain card with a score line down the middle. You'll notice over here in the layers panel that it is already attached. And that is really important, so we don't have to do anything with it. What we want to do now is take this trellis design. This is what we're going to deboss on top of the card. We're going to place it exactly where we want to have it deboss. And I'm going to highlight them both and just see if I can see what the size is of this. I think we're okay. Just want to click on it. Now this is something we want to deboss. Now the deeper the deboss, the more you're going to have go over twice. So I'm just going to use a single deboss for this particular project, but if you wanted to go deeper into the card, what you would have to do is duplicate this and line these two up. So right now this is already set to deboss. That came in as a deboss. Now we want to make sure that these are all attached together. So we can't attach them right now because the one in behind is already attached. So we must click on the card and click on Detach. I don't know why I wanted to detach. It just took a little time. Now you'll notice that it is detached. There's no attach over here in the layers panel. Now we want to take all of these together, make sure you've got it exactly where you want it, and we are going to attach them. That means that it'll come out on the same mat, and that there's nothing more that we have to do. Now this is not going to print on there. It is simply going to make lines on your card. It's a deboss. Now I have a little heart that we're going to be placing on top for the greeting, and you'll notice that it's in behind, so let's click on it and let's arrange it and let's send it to the front so it sits on the top. And this will actually sit on the top of the deboss, and you can put your own greeting on it. And we're going to cut this out separately. Now let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a cut that goes on the inside and a cut that goes on the outside. So these little dotted lines are not score lines, but they are cut lines. You will notice down here that they are not attached, and up here it just says debossed card, basic cut, basic cut. So if I push them out over onto the mat, they would separate. Now here's your opportunity. You can write something on top of this. This could be Happy Mother's Day, it could be Happy Birthday, whatever you want. So we are going to add some text, and I'm just going to call this Happy Birthday right now. I think I'll just use Happy Birthday. Now it's not appearing, so let's just move it down. It'll just take a second to appear on the mat. I'm going to make the greeting here, Happy Mother's Day. And I will put the happy on one line, mothers on the next line, and day at the bottom. Now I have the three of them here. What I want to do is come up to the alignment, and from the alignment I want to center it. And now we're going to bring it over here. I don't particularly like this font, so I'm going to click on the font here. And let's find something that is maybe writing. So let's go over to here to filter, and I'm going to click on writing. This will give me some options for the writing that will go on the card. Notice a lot of mine have an A on them for the writing. That means that is part of Access. But you can put your own fonts. You don't have to use the writing fonts that come with Cricut Access. You can actually scroll up. There's one called Spelling Test Writing. There's a cute one, but it says $4.99, so you have to be very careful that you don't pick on the ones that are going to cost you money. But you'll notice there's also some right at the top here. Most of them seem to be $4.99 and better. Wow. So I'm just going to pick on a simple one. This one looks easy enough. Single layer cutting writing. It's called a Lisa stencil script. I'm going to click on that one. It'll just take a second or two. But you'll notice that there's spacing between here that I'm not particularly happy with because they are too far apart. So I'm going to come up here to the letter spacing. I'm going to click in here, and then I am going to click on this little down arrow and bring those words a little closer together. Don't want it too close. It looks not too bad. Now I'm also going to change the size of this, and I'm going to use this arrow down here. And I'm just going to make it smaller because I want it to fit in our heart. So I have the one word at the bottom. Now that looks pretty darn good. I am going to center it. Come here, come over to align, and we want to center it horizontally, and vertically I'm not too worried about. Now I also want to take the words here, and I want to change them from a basic cut, so they're going to cut in there. I want them to come down here to draw and then pick on pen. You'll notice that how it made the letters hollow. And I don't want them black, so I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to pick another color. I'll make this one raspberry, and it'll actually go right on top of it. Now I need to select all of these together and click on Attach. That looks really good. And that will fit on the top of the card. Now you may wonder what you could do for a greeting on the inside. Well, you could duplicate the heart here, put your own greeting if you want. I just wanted to show you how to do this debossed card. So now we're ready to go over to our mat. Actually, we will save it first. And I'm going to call it Mother's Day card. $2021. I'm going to save it. Now we're going to click over on Make It. You'll see I only have two mats. This is exactly what I wanted. So we have the one heart that's going to cut the outside edges and the little dots, and the Happy Mother's Day will be written in. Now if you find this part of your mat is really getting worn and this part is not, you can actually move this over and just put your piece of paper here that you're going to use. I will just do that for now. And then there is the card part, which is going to have various things happen. It's got deboss, it's got score, and it's got cut. So it's got three. So look at the order of things and what they're going to do. It's going to score first, then it's going to deboss, and then it's going to go over to the basic cut. Now you can use the same type of paper for both of these, but it doesn't mean that you have to. You can make a change if you wish. So you could make the first one a different type of paper and the second one another one. So let's click on continue. Now for this basic card at the top, I'm just going to use medium cardstock. I'm going to actually use white so that I can just get a small piece. I may even use a beige color if I've got a scrap of beige color, because you don't need the full mat of paper. If I take a look at this, I actually need 5 inches by 5 inches is absolutely perfect for what I need. So I think I have a couple of pieces of scrap that I can use for that. And it's absolutely perfect. Great way to do that. And as far as the pen goes, I'm going to use probably a red gel pen to go in place of that. So that's fine. So we'll use a medium cardstock for that one. And it tells me the raspberry pen and the fine point blade, and I'm ready to go. Now, if I take a look at the second one, first thing it wants me to do is load the scoring wheel, and then it tells me what's coming up. Fine deboss tip and fine point blade. Now, I realize that this is something that you can only do with the maker when it comes to debossing. Now, if you have an Air 2, what you can do instead of debossing is set your deboss to being a score line, and to make it deeper score line, you want to add a little pressure just for that, or you can duplicate the image and just get it to score over it 2 or 3 times to get it like a deboss. So now we're going to cut these, and then I will see you at the other side when we show you how to put this together. So here we are at the demo table for our debossed Mother's Day card. This is the little embellished part, and you'll see that we've got little stitching lines all the way around. Those are actually cut lines that have come all the way through. So you could actually bend these little edges up, which I'm going to do just to give it a little extra pizzazz. And they will bend against those marks that we have made. So that's the first thing you want to do. And I used a purple gel pen in the center. Now I could fill it up with more if I wanted to, but for now I'm just going to bend these forward to make a nice little design when we put this card together. That was a little tougher. Okay, so that's going to look really nice. It's going to give a 3D effect. So put that aside. Next is our card, and if I move it a little bit, you should be able to see where we've debossed it. Now I could have done a foil quill on it, but I like the deboss because it puts a pattern inside. Now this is just a plain, I think it's 10 by 6 card with the debossed on it that we put through our Cricut maker. Now, if you didn't have a maker, you could use an Air 2. All you would need to do with this is either foil quill it, or you could decide that you want to use the scoring stylus to make the imprint in the paper. So all we really need to do here is come across and find that fold line. There it is, and we're going to give it a burnish. And I'm just going to use my Cricut scraper here. I just want to make sure everything's even. It is. I just like to hold them down. Now with this Mother's Day greeting, you could do a duplicate of the greeting and put it inside at the same time. But what we want to do is just put it on the outside so you get some really nice embossed design behind, and then you get this gorgeous little heart on top. Now a couple of ways we can do it. I have these zots. These are dots that I could put in behind, or I could use a double-sided tape to do it. Next thing, of course, is I could use a regular glue, but today I want to use these foam pads because it makes it stand out in a 3D effect. And as you can see, it's standing out here already. I'm just going to put a few of these pads in place. We don't need a lot of them. I put 5, and that's all we're going to need. Now what to do is just take the backing off. Looks great. Make sure everything's bent up the way I want. Now it is a matter, you could measure it into place, but I like to put my hearts right into the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the bottom at the bottom and leave a little space at the top. Try and get it as straight as possible. And then just push down on those. So you get this nice 3D effect. This is a sweet little card. You can write your own greeting. But I just love something like this for Mother's Day. I hope you really enjoyed putting this one together. And until next time, happy crafting.